Hi there, my name is Maria Fraaije. I am a researcher and advisor at Drift, the Dutch Research Institute for Transitions. And in this video, I'm going to summarize how participants of our Shared Green Deal Arena introductory webinar saw the state of transition when it comes to efficient renovations. So here we have the X-curve, and as you can see, the participants had a lot to say about the upgoing line of the curve, where niches eventually break through to shape a new future for Europe in 2050. But in terms of what current structures, cultures, and practices need to be transformed or phased out even, we gathered slightly less input. And let's take a look at the build-up phase of the X-curve. So this is where participants have placed niche innovation in renovations in Europe. And here we found some really neat technical innovations for pleasant and livable homes, such as green facades, bio-based insulation materials, and passive natural ventilation methods. But the groups working on renovation were also quick to point out that a lot of technologies have already existed for quite some time. So it isn't really a matter of what, but more a matter of who and how. That's where social innovations like community approaches, open eco-home tours, as well as job training and grant schemes come in. And above this niche line in the top left corner, we see the renovation regime in Europe. It's currently in the middle of a cost of living crisis across the EU due to soaring energy prices. A prevalent small government model has meant a reliance on individual homeowners to take responsibility for renovations. And we see a disconnect between technical studies, certificates and solutions, and the people they're meant to benefit. Let's take a look at the top right corner of the X-curve. Here we see what better and more fair futures of Europe in 2050 the participants of the webinar came up with, and what they've seen in practice that is already showing that future. Participants were a little cautious here, but passive houses, smart metering, free installation schemes, and stricter waste regulations did come up. And the group saw a different role for governments and policymakers, becoming more approachable, better prepared, and fully empowered to devise master plans for entire rows or blocks of houses. But before we get to that future, the regime line needs to move down in the X-curve. The participants thought of the following phase-out activity: breaking down the culture of homes have to have everything brand new, and phasing out the structures of natural gas and banning the practices of bureaucracy and the linear economy. To summarize, even though there were only two groups of participants working on efficient renovations, they still painted a fascinating and vivid picture of the state of transition in this policy stream.